All right, I confess, I love screwing. Screwing is one of the greatest things I've come across in the longest time, and it's not what you're thinking. Okay, this is referring to Paval's book. Check it out, The Naked Warrior. But he talks about something called screwing, where you basically take your limbs and it's like you're screwing into your shoulders or into your hip or into the floor. And what it does is it creates way more stability, far more balance and control. It takes a lot of tension out of your joints and puts it directly into your muscles. Basically, this is one of the holy grails of just training in general, especially with bodyweight training. Here's why this works. Okay, so when it comes to screwing, I should explain that. We're talking about a rotation of the joints. For the upper body, it's rotation in and back. So I did this exercise the other day where everything just screws in and back. It's like my elbow is screwing inwards. With the knees, I know it's hard to see, but it's the opposite. It's screwing inwards, forwards. This is why this works. Your body has a center line on the sagittal plane here. In order for you to use any exercise, particularly bodyweight exercise, all tension and force you generate with any exercise has got to be directed in some way towards this center line. Now, there's something I call the splat effect. You take a snowball or something, drop it on the floor. When an object meets resistance against gravity, it wants to spread. Pow! Right? The snowball just, boom, spreads out. That's what naturally happens when we do our exercise, is our body wants to spread out away from the center line. But if you want to get stronger and you want to put tension through your body in the safest way possible, you need things coming in. Now, going from the side of the body, the reason why you need torque is to control the middle joint. Okay, we have our master joint, middle joint, base joint. In the lower body, master joint is the hip, middle joint, base joint is the heel. The middle joint is the one that's most susceptible to moving around on a lateral fashion. That's what you're screwing in, so to speak. Now, the upper body joints, the middle joint goes backwards. So when you're doing pull-up, when you're doing dips and push-ups, and even pull-ups to a certain degree, your middle joint stays here or it goes backwards. It doesn't really go forwards a whole heck of a lot. In the lower body, the middle joint goes forwards. That's the way the middle joint bends. It goes forward, and this one kind of goes backwards. So in order for the screw to happen, what you need to do is kind of bring the joint forward, on the lower forward and in, and then here it's backwards and in. But in both cases, it's inwards. It's not outwards. This is why things way wide are not going to be nearly as effective for you. Now, you can do the screw in any sort of position, narrow, wide, and so on. It's the rotation that's there. The other key point is it's not just at the hand, and this is where I got messed up for a long time before I discovered it, is I'd be like, okay, screwing in the joint, so I'd focus on the hand, but nothing was happening here, right? It's the entire joint, all the way into the scapula. With the lower body, it's screwing in, and you're not actually moving anything. It's just putting tension into the joints, putting tension in that direction. So when you're moving, you're not doing this sort of thing. People have that all the time with push-ups, where they'll do this circling kind of thing. You see, with squats, the knees are circling. When they're circling, there's no screwing. When they're screwing, you lock it in tight, bang, and there's so much more force going right to the center line. So play with it. And this applies, as far as I can tell, to every exercise. Bridges, leg raises. Even when I'm lifting my legs, I'm doing this, my legs. I'm pulling inwards ever so slightly, and it makes my abs go crazy. So play around with this screwing technique. Refer to Paval's The Naked Warrior for more information on it. Let me know if you have questions below. Be fit, live free.